Papyrus. The ancient Egyptians made use of all types of available surfaces to write on. These included temple and tomb walls, architectural elements like door jambs and architraves, statues and stelae, wooden and terracotta objects, limestone and pottery fragments called ostraca, and papyrus. Papyrus is without a doubt the most well-known writing material. Thanks to ancient Greek writers who first recounted the stages of producing a sheet of papyrus, and with the help of more modern experimental archaeology, we now know exactly how the ancient Egyptians made a papyrus sheet using the stem of the plant. This panel shows you the various stages of the papyrus making process. 1. After removing the hard outer layer of the stem, we get to the pith. This is the innermost part, known as parenchyma, rich in gelatinous substances with an excellent binding power that act as glue. The pith was cut into very thin strips that were then soaked in water and mineral salts to prevent them from becoming discolored when they came into contact with oxygen, as happens with many plants. 2. The strips were then laid on a hard surface and placed horizontally, slightly overlapping one another to create a first uniform layer. Other strips were then placed vertically on top of this layer. Now remember, the strips were not intertwined as some might think, but were overlapped instead. 3. Once this was done, the sheet was beaten with a mallet to remove any excess water and make the strips stick to one another, forming a flat surface. Finally, the sheet was placed in the sun to dry, and once dry, it was ready to be written on. 4. A papyrus sheet was created this way, with several layers of strips running horizontally and vertically. Making a sheet of papyrus is a very time-consuming process, requiring precise skills and a lot of experience. This meant that papyrus was an expensive material and used mainly for writing very important texts. For notes, sketches, or texts that were not so important, the Egyptians used fragments of stone or pottery known as ostraca.